The Deadly Tower Monsters is an action-adventure game developed by Ace Team, the guys who brought you Xenoclash and Abyss Odyssey. The games are really creative, so you can always expect something special, but the question is it any good? Well, it's fucking awesome! You play as Dick Starspeed, as well as other companions such as Scarlet and Robot, with the simple goal of climbing a tower of monsters. The enemy variety is vast, with some enemies appearing only a few times. You could probably lose track just counting them. With a large assortment of weapons to choose from, which can be anything from a simple ray gun, to a rocket launcher, or even a lightsaber. Yes, a fucking lightsaber. You're spoilt for choice. You can also level up your weapons. This is done through finding cogs and currency in the world, and they're not out of your way, so there's no reason to backtrack. But there's even more than that. When you upgrade weapons, they actually transform into other weapons, with getting different names and becoming slightly more powerful, so it's always interesting to see what exactly a weapon will become. There's a weapon for everyone in this game. What weapons I use, you may dislike, although no weapon truly feels better than another, as they're all pretty OP. Every gun seems tailored around just having fun rather than actual skill, which is alright. And you should also take a listen to the soundtrack. While it's not the easiest to remember, it does have its fair share of good music. The game's visuals are very reminiscent of your typical 60s film. You can see wires on things as they fall through the sky, or stop motion on the dinosaurs. It's so cheesy, but it works. Oh, and there's plastic trees. And, in the rare instance if you do die playing this game, you're also greeted by some commentary that is quite humorous.
Oh, no, Patrick! You got the wrong footage again! That character's not supposed to die in this scene.
Sorry about that. Hold on, let me find the right one.
Oh, the composition on that last shot was so perfect, too. Shame we couldn't use that one.
Enemies in this game will also attack you from below. They may be climbing up the wall to attack you or flying up while shooting projectiles. It's not particularly difficult to fend them off, and you only have to do it a few times. But it does change the gameplay up enough to make it feel different from the standard combat. The fast travel system is fast, as fast travel systems should always be. And only a few times did I really need to wait longer than a few seconds. And the game runs at 60 FPS. Which is cool. However, there are some problems. Whilst it is a great game, the lack of exploration is apparent. Sure, there are targets to shoot, and hoops to jump through, and apes to find and kill, and film reels to find and collect, but it all feels pointless because most of them are encountered naturally. At certain points in the game, you will find power-ups which will help you bypass certain areas. These power-ups can also be used in combat, but they're not super useful, and I maybe used one of them once or twice throughout the entire game. There really isn't any secret areas in the game. It would have been cool to see some challenge rooms or something, just to spice things up. Imagine if you backtracked a little, used an ability to open something, and you found a room filled with new enemies or even a boss. Maybe rewarding you with a new gun? The game is easy. Easy gains aren't a problem, sure, but this game's a bit too easy. You can power through most of the game without dying, and you'll only die if you just can't find a health item. There's no real strategy to combat, and the game lacks a difficulty screen, which would have been a nice addition. You can change the character you're playing as by visiting the sleep machine, although you don't really find yourself doing this often because all characters fight the same way, and they all have the same health and defense. Aside from the abilities that make them different in combat or to progress through another area, you won't find yourself doing this often. You can level up your character, but this becomes pointless too. I didn't find much reason to upgrade my character, and even after I had finished the game, killed everything, collected everything, and done everything, there was still like another 10 levels to go until I reached max, which begs the question of why doesn't this game have a New Game Plus? The bosses are lackluster. Whilst outstandingly creative, they fall apart in every other area, which is really disappointing, seeing how fun other enemies are to fight. Overall, it's a good game, so I'd recommend it. It isn't very long, and there isn't much replay value, but it's still a good experience.
Oh no! I am trapped!
Master Dick. Master Dick.